Okay, technically, it's been a policy for me for literally years, but because I have had more than a few DMs from bearded beer guts from some bumblefuck small town calling me all sorts of names because I refuse to allow comments from just anybody, I'm going to explain this. First of all, comments like that are the exact reason I have a limiting policy on comments in the first place. Because here's the thing. I am not under any obligation to provide space for some insecure dipshits who ate glue well into adulthood to spew whatever the hell they like in my comment section. I'm under no obligation whatsoever to provide them space for that. Neither am I under any obligation to expend any of my energy for anybody other than myself and those I love for any reason. Okay? Here's the thing that a lot of people, especially those who are kind of new to the social media landscape, i.e. Gen Zs, really need to understand. No one owes you a debate. The same actually goes for the older set of dipshits who like to spew whatever in comment sections. Nobody owes you a debate, okay? You do not enter into somebody's living room and just start remonstrating with whatever the hell you think is relevant. If you were to actually do that in the real world, you would get your ass beaten and you'd get thrown out of that person's house. The same principle applies to internet spaces too. These are our spaces. They're an extension of who we are. We are under no obligation whatsoever to provide you with debates, energy, space to spew shit, or whatever. Save that for your therapists. Save that for your mommies. Spare that for your long-suffering spouses who have been sick of your shit for quite some time, I'm sure. But you don't bring that shit here, okay? My spaces are my own. And my spaces are not for everybody. I have a standard, a minimum standard for who's allowed in my spaces for what reason, okay? I have a minimum standard of what I permit in my life, and entirely too many people on social media not just fail to meet that standard, but they probably can't even hope to come near that standard, okay? It's just bottom line. No one owes you a debate. No one owes you space. No one owes you energy. No one owes you anything. And you're not entitled to any of that from content creators or just anybody else in your life. You're not entitled to somebody else's energy, space, time, and effort just because you think you have something to say. Trust me, we've probably heard it before. It's probably bullshit. But we're not going to waste our time per individual trying to prove that it's bullshit, okay? A bee doesn't need to explain that honey tastes better than shit, okay? To use this analogy. But the bottom line is, if you have nothing to say to a content creator outside of vitriol, then you're not welcome there in the first place. I limit my comments with reason. The reason is the comments I've received. The reason is the behavior of the people who spew those comments. Okay? If you want to whine at me about how I don't open up my comment section, take a moment to consider that maybe your behavior is the exact reason why I don't. Maybe it's your fault. Okay? If you encounter a problem online in every discussion that you enter, maybe the problem is you. And maybe the rest of us are not required to tolerate you just because you have an opinion. Here's the thing. The internet has become for lack of better words, it's become a blank canvas for everyone and their best friend. And you know what? That's fine. Actually, there's a lot of great creativity that can be found online. Like, that's why I'm here. Because I love creative people. I love finding new things. I love finding new art, new expressions, new writing. But when one person paints with a state-of-the-art paint and the other paints with excrement, guess what? Nobody wants excrement in their lives and in their viewing space. Like, no. There's a standard of behavior, okay? And if your parents raised you to think that your behavior is acceptable and the rest of the world is making it clear to you that no, it's not, well, take that up with your parents because they've done a shit job of raising you, okay? No one owes you shit. And if your parents were to see your online commentary, how would they react? If they just shrug and brush it off, well, you know what? I got a few things to say to your parents too. Mainly about the caliber of the job they did in raising you. They're not going to like a single word of what I'm going to say either. Bottom line remains is that if you cannot understand what behavior is or isn't welcome, how the hell do you expect other people to tolerate you? Seriously, how? Because it does not make any sense at all. If you claim you're an adult, fucking act like one. And maybe you'll actually be allowed to comment in certain spaces. My space is not for everybody. It just isn't. And if you have a problem with that, you know what? Take it up with the complaint department. Take it up with yourself. Take it up with your therapist. Take it up with your mom. Do not take it up with me because it's not my fucking problem. And you are not going to make it my problem either. If you're the type of person whom I don't allow in my comment section, maybe it's you who's the reason why. Maybe it's your behavior. Maybe no one is required to accommodate you if all you bring to the table is shit. Seriously. It's that simple to understand. Maybe it's not always everybody else. Maybe it's you.